But I am happy when I was asked to come here today and speak. The community, the Muslim community, has always given me their support, and I in return am always grateful, and I will always, and I know that I've said this several times, that I am indebted to the Muslim community. I am. For all that they have done, for all the hard work that the Muslim community does day in and day out in Suffolk County, not only in Suffolk, but Suffolk, Nassau, and in the state of New York. So I hope that my words carry. I say, inshallah, that it may reach God Himself on what I'm about to say today. And it's funny because in your house you are correct. The atrocities that are happening in Kashmir. Understand, I have the deepest respect, because I do, for India and its important relationship with the United States. But I condemn the Indian government and the revocation of Articles 370 and 35A. The communications blockade has imposed its suppression of the life, saving medical care, and the reports of widespread violence, torture, and other human rights violations that are being carried out in Jammu and in Kashmir. These unacceptable actions, they strip Kashmiris of their human dignity. They put millions of people in danger and seriously undermine democracy in India and in Kashmir. People should not have to fear unjust detention. They should not have to fear rape. They should not have to fear torture because of who they are and what they believe. I have met constituents in my district. I represent Brentwood, Central Islip, and North Bayshore, who cannot even call their families in Kashmir due to ensure if they are safe. That is unbelievable, that they cannot even make one phone call to see if their families are safe. And that is truly unimaginable. The situation as violence, militarization, and occupation continues to those who are of Palestinian origin. These unacceptable actions, they strip Kashmiris of their human dignity. They put millions of people in danger and seriously undermine democracy in India and in Kashmir. People should not have to fear unjust detention. And everything that they are going to right now as I speak here and we listen. Jammu and Kashmir is already one of the most militarized regions on earth. And India's recent actions create more instability, and they heighten the potential for accelerating more violence. There have been 2 reports coming out of the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner two reports for human rights that raise serious concern about abuses by state security forces and armed groups in Indian-administered Kashmir. The reports have also raised concerns about human rights violations in Pakistan-administered Kashmir as well. While noting that those violations are of a different caliber or magnitude and of a more structural nature, to date, the recommendations of the OHCR report have not been implemented. The use of pellet shotguns, the tear gas as crowd control mechanisms has injured and maimed many Kashmiris, including children. Children. Moreover, reports indicate that the Indian government has curtailed access to life-saving medical care for the Kashmiri people, creating shortages of medicine and restricting travel to doctors and pharmacies. As we see on these pictures that are being shown on these screens and on these cameras. Multiple reports indicate that over 3,000 people have indefinitely detained without charges by the Indian government under the Public Safety Act, including children, lawyers, doctors, religious leaders, and opposition political leaders. I know I am only a Suffolk County legislator, but I am an American at heart. And I hope that my voice travels, because I do condemn the acts of sexual violence and enforced disappearance of civilians, allegedly by Indian security forces that represent serious human rights concerns in the valley. The state's failure to adequately investigate the gang rape of 23 women in 1991 in the Kunin Paspora mass rape case allegedly perpetrated by Indian Army soldiers is emblematic of the overriding lack of concern for the due process rights of the victims of the climate of impunity for sexual violence in Kashmir. I look at these pictures and it just horrifies me. Allegations of mass graves in Jammu and Kashmir have also not been credibly investigated according to human rights organizations. I urge, and I hope that somehow, some way, they listen to these humble words of mine. I urge the Indian government to accept responsibility for the human rights violations being carried out in Jammu and Kashmir and hold the responsible parties accountable. India and Pakistan both must begin implementing the OHCHR recommendations from its 2018 and 19 reports on the crisis. I will not accept nor tolerate civil rights violations in this country of the United States of America, and nor will I tolerate civil rights violations in Kashmir or any other part of the world. I stand with you in solidarity for everything that is happening and going on in Kashmir. I thank you for this time to speak. Assalamu alaikum.